Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the show for some more EU action. My name is Stronglegs, your host here for Winners League as always, and this is my beautiful co-caster Keith LaFortune, and we will be bringing you the action and what is a pretty exciting day for matches, and beginning with Crazy's new, fresh, young lineup against, of course, Big Academy, who themselves have a pretty spicy roster, but they're not newcomers to Winners League, Keith.
No, Big Academy. I'm just taking a look where they made it last time. They made it to the quarterfinal last season. Lost out against the eventual winners in Espada, right? If memory serves. So, hey, there we go. They made a deep run. They made it to quarters. They even took a map off of Espada, which was Mirage, in what was a kind of a blowout, 16-8. So this Big Academy, although they haven't played officials, that's one thing about teams and they haven't played officials in a long time. They've been grinding scrims after scrims after scrims because if you don't have any official leagues or any officials to play in, you're going to probably get better scrims because a lot of teams that are playing in leagues are playing, in example, Road to Rio and all those other things that went on for 2 months. It gives teams like Big Academy and teams like Crazy a ton of scrim opportunities.
Yeah, and they haven't played officials on HLTV, right?
Yes.
I'm sure in their respective leagues on different divisions, maybe they're not on HLTV, but yeah, I mean, listen, it's the same roster as last season. They've been together for a while. I think they're... Wait, was Crimbo on there last season? I can't remember for some reason, but I know for a fact that Anwin, Hades, Panics, and Process were for sure.
Yeah, I think Crimbo might be a recent addition just based on the fact that his pitcher is clearly taken from a different shoot. I think that's always a tell to me is, do they have all 4 pitchers like from the same LAN event? And if there's a updated pitcher, typically HLTV is really good at keeping all of them the same. So
yeah, and actually, fun fact: so the average age for the Big Academy roster is 19.7, not even over 20. I think that might, if not the youngest team we have here in Winners League in the EU division at least. And Crazy is not even too far away from that, which is actually even more surprising. They're 20.6 average ages. So these are both fresh lineups from different regions. One is German, one is CIS, of course, from Ukraine, I believe, if I'm not mistaken, for the Crazy side. But this, in my opinion, is one of like my favorite kind of eye-opening experiences, right? Like, obviously we've seen these teams compete, and it's not just so much about getting to know these players, it's more so about where is their skill ceiling, how far up can these players go, right? And we're currently witnessing and kind of observing their path to becoming these top rated players and these top performers in their respective regions. I mean, these are the next comers, right? These are the next generations of Counter-Strike CSGO players that we're currently witnessing in development right now.
yeah, and I'm looking at Crazy, like even in their like last recorded officials on HLTV, that is, goes all the way back to DreamHack Open Leipzig, where they played some pretty good opposition. They took a best of 3 off of Godsent, took a map off North, a map off Diffuse Kids, win a series over Skade, which is a big deal. Another team that's in this league. They unfortunately lost to Force, but I mean, it's Force. They're crazy. In the meantime, Big Academy have been playing lesser talents when it comes to teams. If you go back a few months, but I don't know. I'd like to see where both these teams have developed. Clearly, Crazy, it's been a while, but they're clearly on the right path.
Yeah.
And Big Academy, as you said, they're very young players, so they probably have a lot of time to put into the game.
I'm also really curious to know what map we're going to be going on. I think over it looks like Nuke. And that was actually the first map that I thought it was going to be, to be honest. I've seen Big Academy play this map many, many times. And if I'm being completely honest, I can almost see the German culture seep into their Nuke playstyle.
Yeah.
Like they kind of have this like unique pace to it. They know exactly how to force engagements. They know what to do in the mid round. And for a team that's really young, it's not often that you see this kind of cohesion and structure, right? So I think we're in for a pretty pleasant matchup here between these two teams on Nuke. Of course, Nuke being one of the CIS favorites, along with Train. I would listen. If you're Ukrainian or Russian, Keith, I do not want to play you on Train or Nuke. These are my rules.
No.
Or Dust 2. Dust 2. They're cracked on Dust 2.
I mean, I guess that doesn't leave you many options. I guess no matter what, one's going to get through in a BO3. Yeah. But I guess I'd rather play them on Dust 2 than Nuke or Train. I would agree, just mainly because it's hard to fight for control on map like Train and Nuke on your T sides. And that's what they're really good at, is just shutting down control and not giving you any free picks. We're North American players for the most part, and you can attest to this, Roy. For the most part, in a lot of North American divisions, we got a little bit of ego. We like face checking, we like peeking, we like fighting. So it makes our T sides a bit easier, just based on how the nature of how we like to play Counter-Strike over here. But in the CIS region, they're pretty disciplined and they won't give you anything. So, I mean, those two maps specifically where you need kind of like a gift or some sort of opener,
Yeah.
you're going to have to really work for it. So,
Yeah, there's a lot of space for that too here on Nuke, right? Like even if you want to move away from that structure, there's always room for like independent individual sort of play.
yeah,
And I honestly think that CIS regions are probably the closest to NA playstyles out of, if I had to say, out of any of the regions, right? They're really aggressive actually. They're very like willing to take independent engagements and willing to make like space by themselves if they recognize weaknesses. Whereas like in, compared to the German scene, for example, you can tell like the God B culture seep through to all the German players, right? They all have like this similar structure, at least in the big academy and the big rosters. They almost play identical in the sense that you can tell that their structure is like almost like unbreakable. Like they're always sticking to the script. Yeah, there is obviously always some room for independent play and independent actions, but overall they're going to be extremely structured. And on a map like Nuke, that's certainly going to help them in some ways. But I think we're almost ready to go. We're having the players connected to the server now. As soon as all 10 players are in, we will be ready to go. If you're in here right now, first of all, shout out to our sponsor VBet. They've done an amazing job in sponsoring and promoting the league and allowing us to do what we do here. But another thing to note as well is if you're in here and you're enjoying the content and you've enjoyed the Counter-Strike that we have given, please follow us on socials: Twitch, Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, wherever you're watching and consuming content. We are there to provide you some top notch. And if you haven't checked out win.gg, check it out. They're releasing constant new content pieces and they're putting a lot of work into that platform. But I think we're almost ready to go, if I'm not mistaken. I think we're actually ready to go right now. So
perfect.
Let's get the show on the road. Mel kicked it and let's begin the action.
Seems like Big didn't get the memo that knife's important, Roy. They don't care what side they start on. They're taking each other out. Unless they already did knife on the previous map. That's probably more likely what happened, Roy. I had to think about it for a second, but it's come full circle. And they probably already did knife round, then reloaded the server, and they just wanted to run it back. See, they almost had me, Roy. They almost had me.
Yeah. I have never seen anyone carelessly play knife round on Nuke. I'll just say that.
I was gonna say most people really do care about knife round on Nuke, and Crazy's gonna start on CT side. Gonna go ahead and get no kit. See if that comes back to bite them. But they do get a nearly full set of utility on Psycho. But interesting choice. Interesting choice.
Yeah, I'm actually a big fan of the Rainbow Nade. You have that anti-rush protocol in the HE. You have the way to retake with that as well. It's kind of like a pseudo molly in some ways, right? Especially on pistol, where it can do a ton of damage. But now it's going to be just a random lobby charge based off timing coming in from the ramp side as well as the lobby side. But the trades, they are still going favorably for Big Omen Academy for now. But there is pressure coming in from behind.
Oh, man. Sensei is going to find the head of Hades. And all of a sudden, it's just Onwin coming in with a P250, no armor. Sensei is just going to post on this. Onwin has a flash. I think his only choice is to peek this and take the fight, and he takes HP down to 40 now. And Exotic, I'm assuming that's how you say his name, spelled oddly similar to the North American Exotic. And Sensei going to set up here. And I don't see a bright future for Onwin in this peak, Roy. I really don't. Yeah, he's going to give it a go, though. He has no other choice. And yeah, that's so hard. There's no way out of that.
Yeah, I like that. That's pretty clever on the fly positioning there from Crazy, right? Just having doubled up. Surely we will not get double killed if we're posted up on the same angle with 40 HP, no armor. Yeah, I'll take my odds on Crazy in that scenario. But here it is. Pistol round underway. Now Crazy's put themselves at a 1-0. They have a good mixed bag here in terms of rifles and in terms of SMGs, which allows them, of course, the farming machine. And considering Big Omen has not forced up with armor or pistols, they're looking like the money machines might come into play here. And all 5 have gone to the money machines, Keith.
Yeah, might come into play, and they're all dead. And money's been made. I imagine there'll be an op upgrade. Yeah, I was about to say it before it happened, I swear. And it's going to go to Sensei. He's going to go ahead and rock that either towards outside or ramp, wherever he really chooses. Because he knows there won't be another AWP staring back at him. And he doesn't have to worry about the SGs, which goes a long way. So he's just going to go ahead and play towards credit card. Hope this gets overlooked. Typically gets mollied or a flash comes over. But for now, he's just going to be posted up on that. In the meantime, the rest of the Academy boys look to throw smokes towards outside. And a wall of smoke's going to cut Sensei off for any information. And it's actually the close wall. I really prefer this wall in most situations. Just for the fact that it gives you so much more control and, like, over the fights if Crazy decide to come flash through.
Yeah, the only thing is that you have to cross close to the smokes, right? You can't.
Yeah.
It's kind of easy to peer to see if people are going secret off it, and I think right now they're starting to realize like there's probably unlikely chance that they've crossed over to secret. But if Sensei continues to jiggle, oh, he spotted some shoulders. He goes for the repeat. He doesn't eliminate and win at 1 and done, and he's out of there, taking that kill. That's a freebie.
Certainly a freebie. And now, crazy, off the back of a pick, they know they've lost hell, so they're just going to go ahead and take lobby. That's the typical response, and it catches Hades off guard. Right when he comes back to consider that option, he gets cut down. Crazy now have one of those SMGs upgraded to an AK. He have full lobby control. The ramp player is kind of left in a weird spot, but like now they're getting shot from Demku, who's on top of Silo with his USP. Can't use his MP9 at this range, and him getting 1 in info is perfectly fine. Crazy, you're in a great spot.
Yeah, and they still have presence down here below. So Psycho fine. He's already able to spot them early on. He can reposition on site. He has the reinforcements coming in through ramp here shortly. And he's probably calling for assistance. It's coming. But I mean, with a 4 versus 2, even Psycho's life here is not that important, right? If he goes a little bit of damage and falls here, it's not that big of a deal. There's support here already. But I think with this crossfire established and so little time, this round is done.
Yeah, that's going to do it. Process and Panic just going to try to save.
Oh man!
And I know your HUD removes this, Roy, but I've never seen this before. Okay, I'm just gonna point it out because it's funny. Sergey's and Psycho's clan is like a little face with arms, and somehow the arms move. I don't know, like up and down. I've never seen it before, but it's oddly adorable.
Oh, okay. I'm gonna have to peep that after.
Very adorable, and it is big buying what they can. And Sensei not missing early on, Roy. Now, he's missed his timing. He might not have missed a shot, but he's missed the timing on that process, sneaking into big garage. But he seems wary, and he's going to reposition, and he couldn't get any better timing, slipping behind red box. A lot of pressure on process now. Yeah,
and process just heard at the scope. It's just a matter of figuring out how he's going to do this without getting eliminated, but if you slow peek that pixel angle, it might not end well. And Process falls, the potential hero of the round, and it's all down to the players here with MAC-10s and the AK-47 now trying to flood into ramp, trying to find any sort of balance of the scales here, but right now it's just crazy running their show.
Yeah, not only is Sensei just hitting all the shots, the rotates from crazy, 2 players towards lower, 80s, nowhere left to go, missing a smoke, he gets caught on the door frame, and he just has a MAC-10. All the AKs are gone. He's going to get pushed. Psycho fine. Going to go ahead and take him down. And there you go. Crazy 4-0. Sensei clearly a strong understanding of the outer yard and the timings. Because, man, he was all over it.
Okay. Money right now for Big. Not looking so hot, Keith. I think they're going to go for the halfie here. Probably get some utility. I mean, they've been able to cross the outer courtyard. That's a good thing, at least. There is some takeaways, but as soon as they cross, they're not really able to convert anything into anything tangible. So that's a problem. The other problem is that Crazy's economy is now becoming a little out of control. A little wild.
It's definitely gaining some momentum. 5 rounds in, only 2 deaths is the most on any of the crazy players. So it's always hard when you lose pistol, lose first rifle. The first rifle wasn't really close. And now you're fighting uphill, and you're going to have to go through like 3 buys. And then crazy, instead of having 1 eco, are only going to have 1 eco because of the loss bonus. I know how quick it builds. So it's there's already a lot of pressure on Big Academy here, Roy. But the nice thing is they're definitely capable at managing it. But it kind of has to start next rifle round. I don't think they can wait much longer. They seemingly are getting map control and getting good timings. It's just, it's hard to get through an opper who's not missing right now, huh?
And you know what? An interesting part is that at some point the meta for the outside courtyard became like no one plays in these forward positions on the outer courtyard, right? Just because of how prominent the wall of smokes became. But it seems like Sensei is still kind of rocking that a little traditional style of opping, but the Tech 9s have gone Molotov, and a 1-for-1 would have been awesome.
Wow.
But unfortunately, the spacing there just did not work out well for them, and Psycho just rips them apart and beneath your... It's down to the 5 versus 2 now, and I almost feel like there's no chance here for Big Omen Academy unless Hades' recovered weapon could go a long way here for him.
Probably a little upset that it's the silenced M4, not the regular, or at least a rifle or an AK. But hey, he'll take it nonetheless. He does have armor behind it. The bomb is in a super awkward spot because there's a head angle on the stairs. They're doubled up on vent. The flank through ramp is unpredictable, but Sensei holds it, so there's really no real safe way in. Panic's going to have to hit a nice shot here. And Sergez. And Panic, as he peeks this, should get spotted. They're going to double peek him, clear it out. Here comes Hades, wins that fight in vent against Exotic somehow, but there you have it. Sergey. I'm assuming that's how you'd pronounce it. It's Sergey, not Sergez. Well, clearing it up, and that's going to be 5-0, Roy.
Not gonna lie, I'm pretty impressed with the crazy roster so far. They have a good balance of discipline and aggression right now. They know when to be aggressive, they know when to be passive, they know when to hold the crossfires and be patient. I'm liking what I'm seeing. And Big Omen, they've not shown any sort of signs of life right now. It just seems like Crazy's running the show and Big is trying to run the seems to be working, but right now, hold that thought. It's going to be the double entry towards the A site, and Sergez, he does find one in return, but still, an A bomb site. The bomb is now being planted, and a man advantage. Make that a second man advantage. Ooh.
Yeah, that was a nice execute from Big. They realized this rifle was important. They needed to get it as clean as they could and make it as scrappy for Crazy to hang on, because they get it picked apart, and they go right into a nice A execute. They had a molly top hut. They had flashes above them on the rafters to support the players going indoor. On top of that, they were able to kill the hut player cleanly. The flank only netted 1 kill from Crazy, and then the flank got shut down by players coming back in through door to fight from Big. So it was a beautifully run execute and quickly dealing with the flank and not letting that snowball out of control. So Crazy get halted for now. They saved the 2 guns, which goes a long way for them. Even though they are rich, it still helps. You got to know when the round's over. And they know that for sure. But Big needed it, and it looked great.
And just as I was saying, there's no sign of life. They go ahead and prove me wrong. And that's the stuff you love to see, Keith. I'm happy to be proven wrong in these aspects. And that was a great round for Big Omen to pick up, right? They still have a pretty big loss bonus, and they've built up enough bank that even if this round isn't successful, they can at least fight back in the round to follow. And the money's starting to dwindle for Crazy, right? It was pretty insane a few rounds ago, but it's now only really the Sensei bank show here. Psycho only has enough money for his own purchase. But Big Omen, if they can at least keep the numbers pressured, just keep the economic pressure up here, one round will swing this whole half around, Keith. And right now, they're in a good opportunity to do so. They baited a lot of utility in the upper site. They're going to reroute back to the outside courtyard. And it seems like they're setting up for the wall of smokes as well. So Sensei will get denied any sort of vision and opportunity to find a kill. If they can transition well off this, Keith. I'm curious to know if they're going to do anything differently off these smokes. So they've been doing the same smokes. Oh, Psycho, he's going through it.
Oh, what a flash from the teammate as well. Should have, by rights, had more. But the flash doesn't fully connect on all of them. And now the smokes are starting to fade as they cross. And Sensei is here. He even sees Panic with an op and changes up his position. What a play from Sensei. Does he see the player in Big Garage? No. Grimbo should have this. And there you have it. He will get the frag. But Sensei, what a heads-up play to go down to hell. The round is still not lost, though. Big. A little bit of a whiff from DemQ, and that goes a long way for Hades, who's still trying to get out solo towards the site. Bomb retrieved.
20 seconds, though.
And just like this, yeah, 20 seconds, 2v2. Hades knows he has to clear door and got it. Kills the player. Good trade from Hades. You can get the bomb. It's close enough. A molly towards heaven. In fact, is in the right spot and secures the plant, Roy.
Oh.
He's got... No! He came through the smoke! Hades gets owned! How does that happen, Roy? He overthought the situation. Oh, my goodness.
Okay, I definitely understand what he was thinking, though, right? He has a Molotov to block the heaven run through, so he's thinking, like, why would I plant and expose myself to mini and ladder when I have the Molotov, right, to protect me in heaven? But as soon as he goes to reposition, the smoke comes out, and that just made it so awkward for him. that is so unlucky for him. But he almost had that regardless, and that's what we were talking about, right? Even if you lose rounds, you just need the economic damage. You're still pumping out a pretty good buy right here if you're big, and Nuke, since the kind of the nerf of the SG, it's kind of come back to the traditional CT-sidedness, right? Like, we're starting to see the 10-5s, the 11-4s again. The 9-6s are a little bit kind of like the average, I would say, but 10-5s, 11-4s, those are not uncommon anymore in this map. So, I mean, Big are still in line for a proper nuke finish here. But they definitely need to convert this round here, Key. This is such an important round for Big.
Yeah, I guess that's a big factor, too, because now the op has come back into its glory days of not having to worry about rifles being able to one-tap them at range. Well, rifles still do that, but of course, with less confidence. So you can see how Sensei works around the map, not having to worry, taking safer, well, more aggressive angles, but safer than what they used to be. And with 40 seconds on the clock, that resmoke on door is really going to hurt the Academy boys as they're stuck behind a smoke. Going to bring the clock down to roughly 20. They're lining up their utility. But, man, this is going to be a tough ask.
Oh, man, that resmoke.
And another one. They can't force that, I don't think. They're going to have to transition to more of a hut hit.
No, it's not a 10-man save, is it? I've never seen one of these before. Okay,
no, they're committing, yeah. Here we go. Smoke comes out. MQ's close. They shut them down. The flash from the teammate doesn't do much. And with 10 seconds, that's going to be that. Now they're going to save. And that was just good. Like, I mean, crazy. Don't get pressured anywhere else on the map. And they chain, what, 3 to 4 smokes? They rotate even the ramp player up because they sent Sensei towards ramp. Or after nothing came out towards outside. And he rotates up heaven and throws his smoke. So, like, oh, come on.
I mean, this is why the meta of outside pressure kind of started, right? He's like, you can't, if you don't pressure outside, there's only 2 options. You're going A or you're going ramp. And player ramp, he's looking into ramp. He knows they're not there. So they're obviously all going to flood over towards the upper courtyard with 20 seconds left and just start using their control towards the A site. So a bit of a misplay there, in my opinion, from Big Omen Academy. You need some sort of pressure. Sitting in lobby and waiting for a minute and a half has not worked since 2014, Keith.
Yeah, that's a while ago, Roy. Do you feel old yet?
Yeah.
Yeah, I do. Time flies. Sensei now. Is there gonna be a flash? He's gonna peek a dry. They're gonna give him the first. He's even baiting for Sergez. Panic may be posted, but there's no way they suspect him this close. The op doesn't clear it. The rifle tries, and just like that, 3 players fall, and it's Prosis and Crimbob. Is it Crimbob or Crimbo?
It's Crimbo.
Crimbo.
And, you know, now that I've been thinking his name a lot more, I think he was there for the last game. There it is, just a mop up here, just going so favorably for Crazy. And it seems like right now they don't feel any sort of pressure. All their setups are working. All their early round ideas are not really being pressured, and they're not really forced to make many mid-round decisions, right? They're just kind of holding their early round setups, and it's just working beautifully right now for Crazy. Big Omen Academy, they need to start trying some X Factor things. They need to start throwing the pace off here, because as of right now, Crazy has a really good read on them.
Definitely. And now they're even understanding that it's an eco and it might be a quick outside to lower, so they send a player vent early. Demq on top hut, not feeling too pressured, takes 1 deagle shot, asks for the vent player to come back up, and Demq just handling the situation beautifully. 6 bullets remaining, 34 HP. He's got 3 kills to his name, and Hades is alone. I believe he's towards outside. Where is he hiding? Where is he? There he is. He's actually made it to hell, so maybe he can sneak up. And he gets spotted, so there goes all of that.
Yeah. He pulls this off, I'm leaving. Okay, I was gonna say, if he pulls this off, I'm getting out of my chair. I'm out of here. Nine to 1. I do feel like Big Omen needs at least like 4 rounds here to have any sort of real chance in this next half.
Yeah, I completely agree. And I think might need to start here, Roy. You got Panic is up. You have for the full utility. This time, Hades gets the nod to give a little more pressure towards Squeaky. Might keep the smokes hopefully at bay and elsewhere, but they're also going for outside control. So we said they needed to keep outside control to make sure they don't get chain smoked out, and they are going to do just that. They're going to throw some utility towards outside, do a bit of a default, have 1 player hold lobby, because they've been able to get towards hell, actually, a decent amount of times. Granted, it has come at a cost with Sensei getting some kills, but it needs to be traded this time. Panic should have it, but Sensei is still here. No, the change up from Crazy. Psycho towards Secret. He's good for one. The flashes are going to come over now to let him keep fighting. And Demkyo at a mini wants to get involved, and it's all gone wrong. And the tight angle from Sensei. No way you're finding that pick panic. And just like that, it's Hades who remains. Crazy. They're just so reactive.
I'm starting to feel like crazy success right now. I don't want to put it on one man, but I have to say that Sensei's op presence on this map right now is getting deep into Big Omen's head right now. It's there, Keith. Like, even though they're positioning on the outside courtyard, you can see they're all just hugging tight corners. There's a player stuck credit card, not moving. There's a player behind red, not moving. They're just afraid. They're afraid of the op. They're not quite sure how to deal with it. They can't get panics to counter him effectively enough, and it's open. It's allowing the other players, the riflers, to just find their 1v1s and win them. And right now, they're just getting outgunned and outmatched. Easy. I have to admit, I'm pretty impressed, Keith.
Oh, and they take Hades' gun after time. That's like, it's sad boy hours officially, Roy. It was leading up to that, and now it's official sad boy hours. Hades has no money. His teammates are going to buy pistols, and he won't be invited to the party, Roy. That's sad. He gets a P250, so you know what? It's kind of like going to the movie theater, your friends have popcorn, and you get a water. You still at least got something.
True. Count your blessings, they say.
Okay, I like this. Quick down Secret. Something changed up the pace with pistols. Crazy last time had quick rotates, and Psycho's gonna be here. He's just gonna spot that and get out of dodge. Smoke the double door, molly towards the windows. Now there's even gonna be a smoke towards the windows. Crazy are just all over this. They take lobby and rotate 2 players to lower at a split second. Now Big Omen Academy are stuck. Either go back up Secret and have no control, or force a sight that there's more than one player there from Crazy. Man, the rotates are so fast.
I love that counter from Crazy Keith. They forced Big Omen Academy to use their entire utility set to cross Secret, and they were more than happy to use theirs to counter the door, to counter the windows. And now if they want to come back into the outer courtyard, they have nothing to cross. As long as they have eyes on it, they should just be picking apart. Sensei spotted them coming back up towards the upper A site. And now they're hearing the commotion. They're hearing the players flood in. But look at their positioning. They're everywhere, Keith. They're inside lobby. They're down below in heaven. There's nowhere for Big Omen Academy to hide except inside the site.
I'm going to try to fight Exotic. His nade slows down Hades, allows Exotic to peek into him. Little does he know, both players have pushed in through Squeaky. Psycho clean this up, and he will. I like that from Exotic. Maintaining lobby control, even though it was so tempting to push onto the site and get the mop up. They concede the plant, but at this point, it's just super irrelevant. At least Big managed to get a plant out of it. Allows Hades to get a rifle. Without extra $800, he wouldn't have had a nice full buy. It'll still be missing a little bit, but hey, it's better than what it would have been. But man, Crazy on the runaway train. Looking like a good Ozzy Osbourne crown track.
That's a name I haven't heard in a while.
Did a song with Post Malone recently. Actually not bad.
I'm gonna have to check that one out. So one thing that I haven't noticed that Big has tried yet is like any sort of fast split on the upper A site from outside. And for some reason, ever since they got shut down by Sensei outside with the op, oh sorry, not outside, towards the ramp, I mean, they haven't done any sort of ramp play either. So they've avoided ramp, and they're really slow on the outside control. Now Sensei.
Oh man, you gotta know Psycho's getting a flash, Roy. Oh, in fact, he's gonna kill the back player. He's gonna deal with panic. And now this is so weird because look how quick Crazy rotate. Exotic even gets one on the lobby crunch. Sergez is here. And they're so split, they're gonna funnel them to one Dore, to Decon. Demq gets caught jumping. Process should have this dead Dore, but now he gets dinked. It's all gone wrong for Big. They seemingly had everything right. I mean, although they had a fourth secret and they lost one player, now look at Crazy. They have bomb, they have a player in control, a player top rafters, and 2 in secret. Jimbo has to hit some nice shots. Exotic's there. Sergez gets the last. And Crazy, they are so good at rotates. That's the one thing that's really impressed me.
Yeah, they're not making mistakes. Like, not positionally. Right, like they're dying, yes, but they're dying because they're being overwhelmed, or they're dying because, you know, players on mid omen are hitting shots. But positionally speaking, rotate speaking, they're not making mistakes. This is almost like textbook defense on the nuke. I'm out of words. Like, this is actually impressive.
Molly towards top putt, exotic. Oh, finds Hades, is full by my teammate Flash. Oh, that's sad. It's a sad story with not the best ending. And now the Academy guys are smoked off door. They can't go through. Panic's going to try to come mini, and Exotic, his only job's now to hold that. There's another smoke to kill some time. Panic's going to do his best, and he catches Exotic sleeping. Nice flick shot from him. This may give motivation for his teammates to come through the squeaky door. Smoke. Demq gets shut down. Sensei shouldn't have a chance to get back into this. The retake is still going to be on the cards here, Roy. And Onwin misses the mini smoke, but he pushes into it. Sensei, no way he expects that. There you go. There you go, Man Academy. Taking some risks, taking some chances. And you know what? They capitalize on it. And I don't know how that smoke landed there. I don't know how that happened.
Wait, is that?
I don't know if that's a one-way. It is a one-way. That is unreal.
Wait.
Is that intentional? There's no way. There's no way.
I think it is.
Yo, that smoke is nuts. The fact that CR4ZY throws that... Dude, my mind is actually blown.
What?
That is so sick.
I actually have never... I don't think I've seen that before. I don't know if they've made this or they've found it somewhere, and maybe this is becoming a popular...
You know where that was thrown? I think that was from outside in the corner on the rafters. Like, there's no way that was... What?
Wow.
That is disgusting.
That's a 5-head. That's a 5-head.
Like, you're this far ahead, and you're like, you guys want to show them the one way? Yeah, all right. Like, why?
Are they about to get their second round? Yeah, let's pull out the one-way, boys. Initiating protocol one-way. Gets 3 kills on the retake with that, dude. There's no
Unreal. Way. That is super sick. I look for that to get used more often once that gets out.
That's crazy.
That is such a sweet smoke. Yeah, no, like, deserved. Gap in the smoke. Sensei takes advantage. And my brain is just blown away. This is the fastest nuke game I think we've seen in a long time, with some sweet protocols, some awesome rotates from Crazy. They're playing reactive CS, and they're showing us some new tech. Like, come on.
Can we get a coach check really quickly, Bill? Oh, they have Jonta as their coach. That's why.
Is he the smoke mastermind?
No, Jonta has such a long history in CS. He's such a veteran. Wow, okay, I can see now. I can see now. I can understand a little bit more of their structure here.
Wow. Sensei from the heavens gonna shut down this take. Process with the double entry. 3v3. He's scared about getting peeked too close below. We'll see if they throw the smoke again. I want to see who throws it. Because they all have smokes. It's CR4ZY. So it's on top of the little bit of a red click smoke on top of the paint barrel. That's what it is. And it comes through the wall. And it gives such a cheeky one-way. He's not going to take advantage of it here, but it's more for peeking towards Squeaky. Still has to go wide through. So there you go.
Yeah, I also think it's because of it probably counters the Molotovs too, but get to that in a second here. And then it's going to be Sensei and Psycho Fine just fighting together in tandem from inside the door. And Mini, it's down to Hades now. He knows the op is posted up on him, and it's creeping slowly. The tag comes out, but Sensei, he's just not missing any shots right now. And that's a 4 kill for him on the retake, and Crazy shut it down. He 14-1, 17-3 for Sensei. Psycho Fine, 14-3.
Dude, what do you say? Like, that is just so sick from Crazy. And you're right, that smoke, I'd imagine it would stop Molly's from landing in close heaven proximity. So, well done by Crazy. And now, obviously, I'm going to be the guy that says it because I say it every time. I save my co-casters from saying it. Pistol obviously matters a lot here. Normally, pistol in the new economy doesn't matter as much. But
thank you, Keith.
Let's score line like this. You know, Roy, it matters. Yeah. And Psycho Fine gonna get pinched. Is he gonna live? How is he getting 2 out of this?
No.
Dude, it can't happen. He'll finally go down, but he still gets 2. Crazy are wrapping through to ramp.
Look how much positions they have now.
Wow.
Like, they have the entire map in their pool right now. They went ramp from outside.
They're basically playing CT right now. Yeah.
I was just about to say. They're playing defense on offense right now. That is incredible. That is incredible.
That's so unreal.
I think at this point it's just the DG move on next, right? Like they're just deep in Big Omen's head right now. There's just nothing they can do. And when not having a good game, he's typically one of the harder fraggers for the squad as well. 2-16.
Wow. Good map from Crazy. Sensei showed his prowess. Showed us that they clearly have good protocols. In the meantime, Sergey's going to get pressured. Can Big keep this going for a bit longer? They force the molly at ramp. A little bit of pressure given there, but a smoke gets dropped. So they're just going to maintain trophy room. And now they're just going to gamble on towards A. It looks like Crimbo going to go on up with his teammate. They have a smoke for the door. There you go. He's just going to throw the smoke, go back towards ramp. But Crazy don't seem too bothered. Tons of time left.
I like the patience right now from Crazy. I imagine they're expecting Big Omen to get kind of antsy in these kind of scenarios, right? They're down 15-1. They're probably going to look for some sort of kills. After all, this is like their first HLTV appearance in probably a little while, isn't it? And this is probably
3 months.
Probably not a good HLTV appearance for any of the big players, unfortunately. But Crazy, on the other hand, they're like, hey, we'll take those.
Yeah, not the worst stats to get, huh? MQ just mopping it up. It's panicking Crimbo. Crimbo from the ramp. Gonna get shot in the side. Does not expect Exotic to be where he was, and that should do it, and it will. 16-1. We don't get the 16-0, but you know what, Roy? Crazy worked for that. Their protocols are on display, their rotates are on display, and they just played some sound Counter-Strike, and we learned a cool smoke.
You know, typically when we bring up the fact that a team is young, we're not really expecting perfect Counter-Strike, right? We're expecting kind of like sloppy Counter-Strike, but so much individual talent and so much individual skill that it makes up for their lack of, structure and their lack of protocols. But man, was I wrong. Like, I could not have been any more wrong in this matchup, Keith. That was just flawless CT play. Protocols on point, positioning on point, aim is there, the communication, the crossfires, like every scenario was almost played like textbook almost. That's impressive. We have to give a little credit to that. I did not expect it. I'm not going to lie. I did not expect this level of play from these guys.
Yeah, no, it was crazy impressive. And they did the thing that a lot of teams struggle with is when you lose outside, you get lobby control. And a lot of teams struggle with that because it's hard to take, but they did it flawlessly every time. They got map control they needed. Sensei, I mean, it helps when your uppers like not missing shots and able to lock down outside.
To be fair.
And he had a great job, did a great job of rotating, using utility support as A players, going towards ramp.
Mm-hmm.
He was all over the place. So I think Big kind of just got overwhelmed, and it's a great sign for Crazy. I'd say teams are probably not going to want to play them on Nuke unless you have an equally prepared game plan, because that was terrifying.
Yeah, if it's like, you want to play Sensei on Train? Like, I don't want to play Sensei on Train.
Probably not, yeah.
But although that was a pretty hard performance for Big Academy, I don't suspect that this will be kind of a consistent narrative for them. I think they will bounce back. I think it's just a bit of match jitters, and especially like their first HLTV appearance in a while. So I think there's a lot of psychological elements that they have to kind of overcome. But I don't expect this will be a common performance from them. So I do expect more from them. But congratulations to Crazy with that solid performance. Moving on to the 1-0 pool next week, and commiserations to Big Omen Academy, who move on to the 0-1 pool. But hey, they still got 2 more attempts. If they go 0-3, they're out. So they still got 2 more weeks worth of matches. And I'm sure we'll see them a lot more in the meantime. But for now, this story is done, and we will be moving on to the next one for Clint Mix versus Izako Boars. I'm pretty excited for this one, Keith. And we'll talk more about that afterwards when we come back from the break. But for now, if you're in here right now, please do follow our socials: Twitch, Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, YouTube. We're everywhere, baby. Follow us along for some EU action as well as some NA action for Counter-Strike. For now, we will cut to a break, and we will be back in about 10 minutes for the next matchup. We'll see you then.